Imagine you wake up from your sleep and have no recollection of who you are or how you got into this situation. Mysterious people with masks try to hunt you down, and all your neighbors start recording you instead of helping you out. Hey guys, it's Bodhi here from Explained, and in this video we'll be watching an episode titled White Bear from the popular Netflix series Black Mirror. Let's get started. Turn on the subtitles and spoilers ahead. A woman named Victoria gets her consciousness back and immediately feels extreme pain in her head. She finds both of her wrists bandaged and there are pills laying on the floor, which suggests she might have attempted to take her own life. However, Victoria has no memory of who she is or what she was trying to do before she lost consciousness. She takes a look at the TV, which is showing a mysterious sign. Victoria turns the TV off and asks if anyone is in the house. She walks down the stairs and finds another TV, which has the same sign as the previous one. Victoria looks around the house trying to find any clue who she is. She then finds a photo frame which has a photo of her with a man, and a separate photo of a child. Looking at the picture, Victoria sees a flash of her memory, which makes her believe that the girl in the picture is her daughter, and the man with his arm wrapped around her is her husband. Not knowing anything about where her family is, Victoria gets out of her house in search of her daughter and husband. She asks her neighbors for help, but all they're doing is recording her with their phones. Everyone in her neighborhood is on their window with a phone camera. They're clearly recording Victoria, but they don't respond to her calls for help. Victoria is confused about what's happening around her, and she runs after a girl who clicked her picture. The little girl manages to escape out of her sight, but then Victoria sees a man come out of his car. This man has a mask on his head, with the same sign she saw earlier on her TV. The man takes out a shotgun from his trunk and aims it towards Victoria, who starts to run to save her life. With the mysterious man after her life, Victoria calls for people around her to help her, but all they do is hold their phones and record everything without a sign of sympathy for Victoria. After running away from them, she comes across a girl named Jem, who's fueling her car. Upon seeing Victoria, Jem immediately calls for her friend and hides from the man with a mask. They dodge the bullets, and while the man is busy reloading, Jem and Victoria quickly get inside the store. Jem and Damien block the door and take cover from the man outside. Victoria starts going crazy to see that nobody is trying to help them, while the man is literally trying to kill them in broad daylight. Jem devises a plan where she'll try to break open the back door, while Victoria and Damien will try to hold the man. Damien is scared that he'll get killed, but Jem tells him that that's the only way for them to escape out of there. Jem starts breaking the back door, and just then the mysterious man enters the store. Damien grabs hold of that man's leg and tries to stop him. The two of them struggle to get hold of the gun, and just when Jem manages to break the door, Victoria runs to save her life, leaving Damien alone to fend for himself. Jem and Victoria hide behind a dumpster, and a little later they see that Damien was shot dead. The masked man comes out reloading his gun, while the onlookers record Damien's dead body like it's nothing. When they try to run away, they see a car approaching. Two mysterious people in different masks come out of the car, and Jem tells Victoria that they too are after their lives. After waiting for the perfect opportunity, they run out of there and hide in a house. Victoria asks why exactly the masked people are after them and why others are constantly recording them instead of helping. Jem explains that a mysterious picture started flashing in every TV and computer screen, which turned most of the population into onlookers who record everything around them without any conscience. But for some reason, people like Jem and Victoria weren't affected by it. She then explains that the people who are after their lives are hunters, who are hunting the ones who were left unaffected by the mysterious signal. Jem lets Victoria in on her plan to destroy the TV transmitters that has been sending signals over the TV, and everyone will come back to their senses. Jem tells her that the place where the TV transmitters are located is called White Bear. Upon hearing the word White Bear, it triggers memories of Victoria, where she sees herself and her daughter. She goes out towards the onlookers and angrily shouts at them. One of them drops their phone, which Victoria grabs and tries to check. But Jem threatens her not to do that, or else she'll also get hypnotized by the mysterious picture. Just then, the hunters arrive and start chasing after them. A man named Baxter stops his van and tells them to get inside. Victoria feels it isn't safe to get inside Baxter's car. Jem quickly grabs hold of Victoria and pulls her inside the van just seconds before the hunters reach them. Seeing Baxter's face, Victoria feels like she knows him, or at least she's seen him before. But Baxter makes it clear they've never met each other before. Jem tells Baxter about her plan to reach White Bear and destroy the transmitters, but Baxter feels that the place is too dangerous to go, so he refuses to drive them to White Bear. Baxter tells them that they're going to a safe place. Victoria suspects the safe place to be in the woods, to which Baxter confirms to be true. However, Victoria has no idea of how she knew Baxter's safe place was in the woods. A little later, they arrive at Baxter's safe place. Victoria looks at her daughter's picture, trying to get her memory back. Baxter asks if she has no memory at all about her past. When Victoria replies that she has absolutely no idea who she is, Baxter draws his shotgun, revealing that he is actually a hunter. He orders Victoria to cover her head with his mask, while Jem is forced to guide her way. Soon, Baxter takes them to a place which seems to be a hunting ground of his. Victoria gets scared as she realizes Baxter is planning to kill her. The onlookers also have arrived in the woods with their phones. Just when Baxter is about to kill Victoria, he gets a phone call and gets distracted. Jem takes this opportunity and runs to save her life. Baxter realizes that Jem is running away and shoots at her, but Jem quickly takes cover and saves her life. With Jem gone, Baxter turns his attention towards Victoria. He ties her hands to a wooden log and shows her that he plans to torture her with a drill. Victoria cries out for help, but the onlookers simply watch her and record the scene with their phones. Baxter is about to use the drill on Victoria's back, but luckily, Jem comes back and has gotten a hold of Baxter's gun. Without any hesitation, she pulls the trigger and kills Baxter. Victoria thanks Jem for saving her life and follows her as she's the only one she can trust. They get inside Baxter's van just before more hunters arrive. Now that they have a mode of transportation, Jem decides that they're going to White Bear no matter how dangerous it is. On their way, they encounter onlookers who are recording their every move. Victoria gets tiny bits of flashbacks in her heads where she's asking her daughter to hide in their car to not get noticed by the police. In another flashback, she sees herself getting locked to a chair by someone. Victoria feels that White Bear is a dangerous place where she shouldn't go. She asks Jem to stop the van and retreat, but Jem has already reached White Bear and she intends on destroying the transmitters. While Jem gets busy trying to get the gate open, Victoria sees flashes of memory where she sees her husband setting fire in the woods. Jem manages to unlock the gate and she pulls Victoria with her to get inside White Bear facility. Jem breaks into the cabling room and pours petrol over the equipment. Just when she's about to light it on fire, the hunters arrive and attack them. One of the hunters manages to stop Jem and takes her under control. When the other hunter gets distracted, Victoria snatches the shotgun away and points it at her hunter. But when she pulls the trigger, confetti flies out of the shotgun instead of a bullet. Before she can even comprehend what happened, the wall behind her opens to reveal that they're actually in sort of a stage, and there are audience members who are watching and applauding their performance. Jem, along with the two hunters, make Victoria sit on a chair and lock her hands and legs to it. Then they all bow down in front of the audience. Baxter, who was shot dead by Jem a few hours ago, arrives on stage and reveals himself as the director of all this. He makes Victoria face toward a screen and tells her that they'll now reveal who she is. On the screen, there's a mugshot of Victoria. Baxter shows another mugshot which Victoria recognizes to be of her husband's. Baxter tells her that the man was only her fiancé, and they didn't have a daughter together. Then, Baxter plays some news footage, which reveals that Victoria and her fiancé were arrested on charge of brutal murder of a 6-year-old girl. The photo which Victoria had been carrying with her all day, and who she believed to be her daughter, is in fact the picture of the girl who she and her fiancé kidnapped. Following the abduction of the little girl, the only clue the police had found was the girl's white teddy bear. The news further reveals that the little girl was found murdered in the woods after months of searching. When Victoria and her fiancé were caught, the police found footages of the couple torturing the little girl. The evidence proved that Victoria's fiancé tortured and brutally murdered the little girl, while Victoria recorded everything on her phone. The mysterious sign which she had been seeing all day is in fact a distinctive tattoo that her fiancé had. Before their trial in court, Victoria's fiancé killed himself by hanging, as it was certain that they were going to get the death sentence. This action made the public believe that he evaded justice, and so they couldn't let the same thing happen with Victoria. Victoria cries as she finally hears the horrific story about who she truly is. Baxter tells her to stop crying as her tears won't do anything for her. While Victoria cries, the audience members take out their phones and start to record her. Baxter asks her how it feels to be tortured and have no one to help. Everything Victoria went through today was an elaborate performance from everyone to make her suffer. Due to the horrific crime she committed, they wanted to make her go through the same pain and trauma which she inflicted upon her victim, and they were not done yet. Baxter orders his men to get Victoria back to where she came from. Outside the studio, there are people waiting to see Victoria. Baxter rallies the crowd, telling them to take as many photos and videos of Victoria as she comes out crying. With that, Victoria is driven out of there, while the angry crowd is shouting at her and wishing her death. Victoria can do nothing but pray that it'll all end soon. However, Baxter isn't going to let that happen. He takes Victoria to the same place where she woke up this morning. Victoria gets tied to the chair, and Baxter starts to arrange the scene to make it look like she was trying to commit suicide. She begs Baxter to kill her and end everything, but Baxter plans to make her suffer even more. He places an electrode on her head that will wipe out her memory. The next morning, she'll wake up once again with no recollection of the trauma she went through, or the heinous crime she committed. She'll have to go through it all again, and she has no idea of how many times she has actually gone through this before. As she starts screaming, Baxter leaves the room and crosses a date on the calendar, while his assistants set up the scene for tomorrow. Later, we see Baxter briefing the actors and onlookers on how they'll make their performance successful. He lays out some important rules that the onlookers have to follow, which includes that they act like they're hypnotized by the mysterious sign. And the most important rule of them all is that they must enjoy themselves while Victoria is in pain. The next day, Victoria wakes up with no memory. She goes through the same confusion as she did the day before. With cameras set up everywhere, people watch her and enjoy it. The onlookers do as they're told and record Victoria without speaking even a word to her. Jem and Damien wait patiently for Victoria to run towards them, and they can play out their parts. Baxter also gets ready in his hunter getup to get everything started. Victoria goes through it all once again, and the day's performance is deemed successful. But tomorrow, she'll have to go through it all over again. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment down your thoughts on the video. And before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more movie recaps.